come here and box me up real quick, probably clip me, then go home.
As a business, I understand. I ain't gonna hate on the decision, but as a man
Your
and
pride
as
will
a
get in the way.
fighter with my integrity.
Shakur Stevenson is sparring with Jake Paul in preparation for his impending bout with Gervonta Davis. Jake has selected Shakur as his sparring partner in an effort to improve his speed and defense while matching Tank's size and talent. Jake, who has been a professional boxer for 5 years, thinks that this preparation will provide him with a necessary advantage. He is determined and self-assured, and he intends to surprise the boxing world by defeating Gervonta Davis and demonstrating that he is a worthy member of the top boxers.
Prepare for, like you said, a guy who is shorter than you. How do you find a sparring opponent to replicate something that obviously, there's nobody else out there that's Tank Davis? How do you prepare for a guy that's different stature-wise?
Yeah, no, we have world champions. Raymond Ford in the 130-pound weight class. We got Montana Lovin. Shakur Stevenson is coming in this week. So
Wow.
just sparring against guys on their level and people who have, been doing this their whole entire lives. But we're really focusing on speed and not as much on power. I'm not doing as much like weightlifting and all of that stuff. I'm actually trying to lose some muscle so that I have less weight and so that my punch.
Jake Paul has advanced significantly since switching from social media to the ring. He has already won numerous official titles, demonstrating his growth and self-control in the sport. Jake keeps up his rigorous training regimen and strives to dispel his skeptics in spite of criticism. His greatest challenge to yet is his impending bout with Gervonta Davis, and he is resolved to once again astound everyone by showcasing how much his strength, talent, and dedication have improved.
Shock the world and even shock myself and show myself what I'm capable of.
When you picture how it goes down, is there something that you see yourself doing? Do you see yourself knocking him out? Do you imagine being victorious? And what would that mean for you, a guy, again, who has only been in this sport for a couple of years? You've turned it on its head. You've had a massive impact, clearly, in just a few years, but it's only been a few years. That's the bottom line.
No, exactly. This is my 5th year as a pro, and so I've had to progress faster than anyone else in the sport to be able to compete at this level and to be able to hang in there with these guys. But I do believe that I have the power and the offense to be able to walk Tank into a knockout like I've done with other opponents and set them up for it. And so I am fully confident in my ability, and I think it would be one of the craziest upsets in a long time.
Yeah, one of the craziest upsets ever, probably, in many people's eyes. Well, I think I saw Cardi B just put a $250,000 bet down. It was a parlay, I believe, on Aspen all over Cyril Gahn. But then for Tank to beat you, have you seen that? And what do you think about Cardi B potentially placing a $250,000 bet here?
I didn't know.
I saw.
Shakur Stevenson was been joined to Jake Paul's training camp. This action demonstrates his dedication to thorough planning. Paul claims that Stevenson personally contacted him and extended an invitation to join his camp, which gives his present training phase more legitimacy. In order to emulate Gervonta Davis's agility and southpaw style, Paul has surrounded himself with a number of talented left-handed fighters. He can adjust to angles, footwork, and counterpunch timing that mimic Tank's fighting rhythm thanks to this varied sparring environment. Paul's emphasis now is on movement, discipline and conditioning as opposed to depending solely on sheer power. Jake's generally unusual boxing style is given a professional polish by the presence of Stevenson, a seasoned technical fighter, indicating his desire to compete at the greatest level of the sport.
Sparring, we got some great guys coming in, some really experienced southpaws that are smaller. I think Montana Love is coming in. Shakur Stevenson wants to come in. Jermaine Ortiz. We're going to hit up Erickson Lubin, some of these guys. So we're just going to bring in a plethora of fighters that are fast.
Notwithstanding the ongoing discussions surrounding celebrity boxing, the sport retains its classic appeal. Major fights continue to draw crowds for the respect and nostalgia that boxing evokes, in addition to the entertainment value. All of the boxing communities are talking about the impending bout between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Opportunities like these, according to Brian Mendoza, are a natural part of boxing's development. It makes logical to let an athlete compete if they attract attention and bring in money. He emphasized that, in the end, boxing is a business where both guys have earned their fair share of the opportunity that results from focus. In a time when social media and short attention spans rule, The fight has generated conversations around the globe, maintaining boxing's relevance and commercial strength.
Man, it's crazy, but people getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby.
You know,
I'm not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports. For an example, with football, we come from the hitting days.
Yeah.
Can't hit nowadays. You know what I mean? So boxing hasn't lost its essence. You know, they're trying to make it safer and all those sorts of things, but there's still this pureness to boxing that really doesn't exist in sports anymore, but it's still there with boxing. I think that's why people have such a problem with this kind of move from Tank Davis.
Is it more the heart? How do you guys feel being boxers?
Man, like once you hear the numbers, I'm like, they're talking, like, I don't know the official one. They're talking about like 100 mil.
Oh, damn.
Like, they're talking about these insane numbers. Like, I'm gonna be like, don't take that. I'm not gonna tell another man not to take that type of check, especially for something like that. It's not on your official record. It's an exhibition. I'm not gonna lie here and act like I'm not gonna say yes to 100 million or something like that. But I do see exactly what you're saying about the essence of boxing. I wish they would kind of separate a little more, because exhibitions have always been a thing. There's always been an argument.
Right.
But they're just selling it like a real fight almost.
Right.
So I think that maybe if we could create a better distinction, more of a difference.
Right.
There might be less hate on it, but at the end of the day, man, I'm not gonna tell Tank not to take that fight.
And I said this last year. I said create a influencer title. And let those guys fight over there in the influencer world. They can live the world and the life of.
Many fans were taken aback by Jake Paul and Shakur Stevenson's unexpected union. Stevenson, who is renowned for his composed professionalism, usually avoids working with crossover fighters such as Jake. However, this collaboration shows a unique blending of contemporary and traditional boxing cultures. Although it has been deemed strange by observers, both fighters appear to gain from it. Stevenson is exposed to a younger, wider audience, while Jake receives technical instruction from one of boxing's best strategists. Their meetings have been characterized as intense and concentrated, demonstrating that even atypical collaborations may produce worthwhile educational opportunities. Additionally, the partnership blurs the distinction between elite-level training and entertainment boxing, signaling a change in the way the sport adjusts to contemporary audiences.
Shakur Stevenson reached out to Jake Paul in support of him preparing for Gervonta Davis. Help me understand, what is the difference between Boots Ennis reaching out to Canelo Alvarez in support of his preparation for Terrence Crawford versus Shakur Stevenson reaching out to Jake Paul in preparation for his fight with Gervonta Davis? Tell me, what is the difference? I'll tell you what the difference is. The Ennis family actually had a relationship with Canelo Alvarez. Shakur Stevenson has no relationship with Jake Paul. None. We heard, oh, Boots is a sparring partner. How much you got paid for that? So now, isn't that also applicable to Shakur Stevenson? Is he not also a sellout? I don't want to hear anything about this fight. It's against a YouTuber, it doesn't matter. No, Shakur Stevenson is an elite level fighter that is going to be a sparring partner to a YouTuber, and he reached out to him directly?
Shakur Stevenson has been outspoken about his opinions ever since Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis was announced. While some assumed his engagement implied support for Jake, Stevenson stated his stance more thoroughly. He approached the conflict from two perspectives: competition and business. From a commercial standpoint, he saw that the bout could generate a lot of interest and money, which is what boxing promotions constantly aim for. He did, however, also note that it is inconsistent with the competitive integrity of the sport. Stevenson remained impartial, recognizing the advantages without discounting Tank Davis's choice to engage in combat. His composed and mature approach demonstrates maturity by emphasizing the development of boxing over subjective viewpoints.
Taking that opportunity, because this is prize fighting, right? It's about making money and securing your family. Can you fault them for that?
It's two sides of that. Like,
Okay.
it just depends. Like, as a fighter, just because I had a draw with somebody, for me, I may run it back. But in a business aspect, if you run it back and you lose to Lamont, and then the Jake Paul fight is presented, you may not make as much money, or the fight may not be as lucrative as it was before you lost. So, as a business, I understand. I ain't gonna hate on the decision, but as a man
Your
and
pride
as
will
a
get in the way.
fighter with my integrity,
Yeah, but isn't there a price for everything, Shakur? Like, even if you had a draw with somebody and you were offered 10 times more than you ever, I don't know what the number is, but it's a lot more than he's ever made. You think you might consider doing the same thing, right?
I would, but you gotta also realize, I know that it's not going nowhere. Like, the
Right.
fight ain't gonna go nowhere. Like, say, because if I really believe in myself,
Right.
and I wholeheartedly think, like, if we fight again, I'm gonna win this fight.
That fight still be there around the
After
corner.
I beat this motherfucker, where you at?
Yeah.
The fight still there. It's not gonna go nowhere. But if I have a 50-50 thought process to
doubt.
where it's like,
Right.
yeah, I got doubt in my brain, I may be like, all right, fuck it.
Also,
Let's
in his
cash
case,
out.
it might be that he's tired of fighting anyway. He's leaning towards retiring
Yeah,
anyway.
let's cash out.
So he's just gonna get that money.
Commentators
have
on
taken
boxing
mixed
have
positions
expressed
on the Jake
differing
Paul
opinions
versus
about the
Tank
Jake
Davis
Paul
event.
versus
Many
Tank Davis
traditionalists
bout.
see it as a
It
marketing
is viewed by
spectacle
many
that
traditionalists as a marketing gimmick that might potentially eclipse respectable boxing matches. Analysts acknowledge, however, that these bouts introduce the sport to new audiences and commercial prospects. The irony is that despite criticizing the match, they profit from its publicity. The publicity it creates benefits promoters, broadcasters, and even opponents. This dichotomy demonstrates how boxing now fits into a broader entertainment framework. The sport benefits from rivalries, personalities, and captivating narratives in addition to sheer competition.
For sure, there's a lot of people that switch over now. Everybody's
Okay.
like, oh, I've been telling y'all, Shakur. I know y'all have not. Y'all all been quiet.
They on the bandwagon
Do
now.
you actually, we talked to Virgil Ortiz, right? He told us that he be screenshotting a lot of the hate on Instagram to remember to maybe one day comment on their posts. Do you remember certain comments or posts that bother you?
I remember it, but like, I'm not gonna screenshot it. What I do, I kind of like, if I see something, I be ready to argue it or go back and forth, but I get up and run.
But I'm
like,
talking
fuck it,
about
I'ma
Get
go
up and run.
run 3 miles.
It motivates you.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
for
talking
sure.
about like somebody that you know in the boxing industry that you respected, that you kind of was disappointed, like, damn, like
Everybody, except for the people that's like right there with me, like the Bud Crawford. He's somebody who kind of stayed with me throughout everything, and I think he's one of the realest people in the sport of boxing. But everybody, I feel like everybody just said,
like commentators, people that hold shows,
people around me started moving different.
Like
everybody,
friends?
everybody,
Really?
everybody.
So you had to cut some people off?
Yeah, yes, I cut people.
People
off.
you thought were friends.
Yes.
When you say moving different, what do you mean?
I ain't gonna like go into detail because I ain't gonna need to put everybody on the spot, but a lot of people start looking at me different. Social media make people think a certain image or certain things about you. Like people I walk into every day, like, bro, I know you. I've been around you for years. You know me. So if you know me, how you feel as though that you gonna go and look at me different or treat me different than what I already was. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, what did Turkey say after that win, like on a personal conversation? Did he say anything to you?
Nah, he just said, good job. We gonna get you on